is a couple thousand pages long, so what's in it?
Well, they're going to have to read fast, that's for sure, if they want to make any amendments. But it's very important because it's got the traditional infrastructure spending, and everybody said for the longest time, everybody knows, who can't agree on roads and bridges? So, in fact, Chuck Schumer, who is one of the leading Democrats in this bipartisan group that's hammered out this bill, said he sees it passing in a matter of days. Mitt Romney, one of the Republicans, sees no disagreements among the parties. It's just a question of ironing out the nits and gnats, whatever those turn out to be. Here's what's in it. Let's look at some of the details. Again, let's put roads and bridges at the top of the list. $110 billion out of this $550 billion bill, over a half a trillion. We've got election grid, not election, the electric grid update. Remember that big problem in Texas last winter? Well, that's the kind of thing you have to fix. Rail and Amtrak getting $66 billion. Expanding broadband in the United States. Everyone agrees that one of the leading economies in the world should have better broadband penetration. Clean drinking water, transit, they're all there. Joe Manchin, Democratic senator from West Virginia, known as being a moderate and kind of a swinger now on a lot of the vote maker on a lot of these votes, because with this narrow majority or in the Senate in terms of power, they need him on their side. And here's what he said about what's been done so far and what he sees next.
I think you'll see text today, and by this evening, hopefully we can start the process, hopefully start our amendment process by tomorrow.
Wow.
We should finish up by Thursday, I hope.
And you think it will pass?
I do. Oh, absolutely, I do. Let me tell you, Jake, when you see Chuck Schumer and you see Mitch McConnell both voting for the same thing, it's unbelievable.
But here's the rub, and Mr. Manchin knows this full well, that the Senate can pass the vote, the House goes on recess. When the House comes back, you're going to have a lot of Democrats saying, okay, now we start the budget reconciliation process, where we, with just this very simple majority, get Kamala Harris, the vice president, to vote for the social spending infrastructure bill. The Democrats, many of them, say this is a two-part bill. Republicans say, no, no, we're voting on traditional infrastructure. Joe Biden's been caught in the middle of that in the past. That's where it stands. But this is certainly a very important step forward.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot to be done, like you say, but this could be historic, right? I mean, we've been talking about an infrastructure deal for years and years, so you would expect the president to do a victory lap. Instead, he's going on the policy defensive. Why?
Well, you know, it's interesting. What can we talk about? We can talk about the virus resurgence first, Delta variant, right? It seems that the White House is looking kind of off balance, that they only this week, the CDC, the authorities on this, putting the indoor mask wearing recommendation back on the table. That's one of the things that makes him look kind of behind the bill. But I think even more important, Sherry, is the eviction moratorium has just ended. And on Thursday, President Biden started talking to people in Congress, could we please extend it? Well, you knew it was going to expire this weekend, President Biden. So people are wondering why he waited so long. People saying on both sides, it's too late to consider this now. So that's another thing hanging out there. However these things work out, the question is, or I think the issue is, that people are saying the president, after pretty good first run of months in office, is now looking like he's got to take responsibility for what doesn't happen now. And some people are saying at this point anyway, he's flipping a bit. So let's see what he happens now in the few weeks ahead, what he does not only on this issue, but how he can push both aspects of the infrastructure spending bills forward.